Welcome to episode 3 of BroHawks, a sports podcast.
Is that the intro?
I'm your host, KCP, along with my good friend and co-host, D-Dubs. D-Dubs, how are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Welcome to the Monster Truck Cast.
Gravedigger out there doing a backflip.
It's been a little bit. How you been, pal?
Been good. Been
Yeah?
very good, yeah. Better now. That was our best intro yet.
You think so?
Definitely.
Because you always say before we started this, you're always saying how you're patient and you wait for me. I was mid-intro and you're talking during it.
Yeah, because I hated it. Because I also didn't think it was serious.
It probably wasn't, but then I was like, this is good. I'm going to stick with this.
I'm sad that's the thought you had. If that's your standard of good,
Yeah, it's probably
it's probably why
closer
you
to
rated the
great.
pizza we had was higher than it should have been.
Spoilers. So, how you been? It's been a little bit.
I've been good. Not much has changed.
No?
No. Did we talk about the diet on this one? I think we did. I started a diet. I'm 25 down. Thank you. Doing good. But we started reviewing pizzas, so I'm assuming that's going to slow down. Not the pizzas, the weight loss. But that's the bit. Oh, we got a new dog, new puppy. Not that big.
Like perfect strangling size.
I do pick her up. She's so light. She's like 4 pounds, and my other dog's 30. And I didn't realize I realized the difference between those two weights, but you don't. I would pick up my other dog so often that it was like nothing. When you pick up the small dog, and then you pick up the big dog. The big dog weighs 1,000 pounds. But so we have a French Bulldog is our big one, and we bought a French Bulldog Pug mix, which is called a Frug, which is the worst name ever. Yeah, she's a ball of energy. Her name's Cecilia from Monsters Inc. Celia May.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a little ball of energy. She doesn't. I think she likes Ellie, but Ellie doesn't like her.
Your other dog.
Yes. So that's okay. They're getting used to each other. It's only been a few days, so.
Have you thought about having, as this is a sports podcast, having your wife use Ellie as a baseball bat and you take the new dog as a baseball?
I can say with pretty good confidence I haven't thought that through. But it's something
I'm
I'm
not thinking.
correct. I can keep it on the table though. That's something I should bring to the table. But other than that, not a lot. This is in sports news. I've just been waiting for a baseball game to come out. But really, I've been working my job and chilling with the new dog. I can't really do much with the dog there, so or it'll piss and shit everywhere.
Yeah, you're talking about MLB The Show or waiting for it to come to Game Pass. Start a franchise.
We'll give her a review.
Yeah, that's right. And that'll be perfect for this channel because it's actually sports and video games coming together.
I love both of those things.
Me too.
Oddly enough, I don't love baseball a lot, but I love baseball games. I did watch a baseball game.
Did you now?
I did. It was the Indians-Reds game, not the one you went to. The next one.
Oh, that was also
a good one.
Yeah.
I did the first one, and I saw it was 10-1 at one point.
It was 10-3 at the end.
Okay, so it didn't get any better. But the other one was 2-1 at the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs.
Yeah.
No one on. Shit was crazy. So, yeah, I watched a little bit of that because it was exciting. It's about as well as sports I've watched. I've been keeping up with a lot of NFL news, but
Okay.
I'd watched the baseball game.
Well,
It's 2 innings.
we can start with baseball. Maybe we can kind of do that. We'll start with, instead of doing the news and jumping all around, we can stick with one sport and then go to the next
Sounds good to me.
until we get more of a pattern with this crazy here show.
We'll get there.
So, I was actually at a sporting event, as you mentioned there. It was the first Reds game I've been to in probably over 2 years, which is crazy. We live in Columbus, so to most people it's not nuts, but I usually go a handful of Reds games a year, so to not go for one for 2 years, more than 2 years, was odd to me.
Yeah.
And I said on our other podcast, I like football and hockey more than baseball, but baseball is actually the thing I've been most excited for, just because I think it's been longer than any of those I haven't been around it, and because that's the thing I definitely did most as a kid was go to baseball games because they're the most accessible here. So I feel like that reminded me of being a kid. And
There's something about a baseball stadium.
There
It's
is.
it's different than the other sports.
Yeah, literally. I usually don't care about doing the generic things, but I even fell into the trap. I got peanuts and
Oh yeah, I like peanuts, but I'll definitely get peanuts almost every time. Popcorn.
yeah. So I'm mostly gonna obviously cover the Reds because that's my team. We can talk about a few things.
I think I'm sticking with the Mariners this year. By the way, I think I decided I'm going to rock the Mariners all year.
Oh yeah,
They've been crazy awesome. I haven't watched their games, but I've been following the scores and shit. Dude, they have been on some roller coasters. Have you seen them?
only a little bit.
They've been like the ESPN graphs have been like 99% the other team to win, and they fucking pull out this miracle like regularly. I don't think they're doing like super good, but it's been fun to watch, or at least keep track of.
Yeah,
So
I got
I
you.
think I'm gonna roll with the Mariners all year.
So it's been a little bit since we've done this, so we're kind of talking backwards here. So I'll cover some stuff. The Reds. Well, we can first talk about the video I sent you. The
That I watched
yeah,
before this.
the potential, like the kind of scuffle fight, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was Nick Castellanos was batting, and the Reds were down something terrible. This was their first game when everything was falling apart. It was, I think 7-2 at this point. They were down. He hit a home run and did a big old bat flip. And even as a Reds fan, I was like, that seemed kind of unnecessary.
Especially losing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of old-time baseball fans think you shouldn't do that at all. I'm not against it in the right times, but that would be like in football when somebody gets a touchdown, like to make it 48-14. It'd be kind of silly to celebrate that touchdown when you're getting your second touchdown.
All the time, too.
Uh-huh. So I was like, that probably wasn't the best call. So then the next game against the Cardinals, the first one was against the Cardinals as well, they throw at him, and usually in baseball that's retaliation because the game before he did something.
That's fair,
So
I guess.
yeah, it was a 93-mile-per-hour fastball, which that could do some damage. So yeah, I think you expect it, but usually not like that. And then, but still, I was like, that's kind of how baseball works. Everybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to look at this as fairly as I could because most Reds fans are just completely against all of it. Yeah. And then he grabbed the ball and he's like, "You want back to the pitcher?" And he said that he was being genuine because he was a lot of pitchers have like rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So he's talking about he might thought he genuinely wanted back because he was pitching a good game. But the other side, that people said he was being a douche, like egging him on. That one I really have no idea. That's kind of But so then he's on base from doing that, and then he comes around after a couple hits and slides home. And right at home, it's like a bang bang play. He could have got tagged out, but he scored. So then he gets up over the pitcher who was trying to tag him out there, and does a little like flex over him. And Reds fans loved it. I thought it was kind of douchey. I was like, oh god.
The biggest thing I've been reading about this Reds team is they're cocky now.
It's mainly him, which he's really good at least. But
well, at least know the Twitterverse outside of Reds Twitter hates them because they think they're all pieces of shit, cocky people. What are they, 8-5? 8-4.
They're in first place. I have to.
So are the Mariners. I'm trying really hard.
I'll pull up the standings here in a second, but yeah, he's the only one I can really think of. I think most of them actually seem really down to earth, and
there's a lot of saying like they got like some swagger.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and they're kind of cocky.
Yeah, I think I hate swagger, but I think it's kind of needed because the Reds have been so relaxed. That's part of their issue that people just think that there's no real effort into it. Yeah. The past few years. So then kind of a fight broke out, and he got ejected from the game, and nobody else did, which is kind of weird because if you watch it, he did probably the least amount in the actual fight. So I was like, all right. I mean, it is what it is. But then where I thought, like I said, all that I thought I was judging fairly as a Reds fan, even though Reds fans are you kidding me? And argue with me about that. But then the next day they suspended him for 2 games. I was like, that seems like
did he
just
start the
overkill
fight?
Now. He started to flex, and then the pitcher got up and pushed him because he didn't like it. And then the weird part is if you look after that, the catcher's behind him, the dude that pushed him, and he grabs him by the neck, and he didn't get anything.
Yeah, I think those big fights never get dealt with the correct way. It's
Yeah.
usually the guy that starts it or the first guy that retaliates.
Yeah. He appealed the 2-game suspension, and they're still waiting on it, so he's allowed to play.
Oh, nice.
But I don't know. It's kind of odd that they either. I feel like they shouldn't suspend him now, or if they're gonna, why didn't you do it sooner? Do you really need to take that one? Be like, yep, you're suspended. So I feel like, but the MLB makes a lot of fucking dumb decisions.
Yeah. At
So,
least it's in baseball in 2 games.
yeah. And the good part as well, he is a really good player, so it sucked to miss him. But he's obviously a player that feeds on energy, so that might actually, playing against him might backfire if he is suspended. Because I said that at the time, and since then, or the next 3 games after they hit 3 home runs. So I'm sure somebody like him, that's just going to piss him off, make him play way harder. But I kind of put some notes in here as the season went on, or has gone on. We're early. But I try to have my real reactions as it was happening since we weren't recording. At the beginning of the year, I said how I always joke they're going to win the World Series, but I almost never believe that. I just like to say that. But my genuine outlook was that I think they have a shot to definitely make the playoffs, and then you never know. World Series could happen after that, but I think the playoffs are a good chance, which is not often for the Reds as of late.
Isn't this a thing with the Reds, though? Like pretty regular, or not regular, but recently, where they do good for a little bit, and they kind of just fall off out of the face of the earth?
Yeah, usually at the beginning of the season, but I never really react to that. I'm glad they're doing good, but I'm always like, they don't seem like they're going to sustain it. And that's what I think is different about this team and what I put on there is that when they got blown out that first game, Reds fans are, oh, same old Reds, season's over. No, this is one game. And yeah, and their top pitcher was playing, and he did everything wrong. The Reds had 2 errors. So everything seemed like that was not going to be how the Reds would play. And then after that, they put up the most runs in their 5-game span in their entire history, not just to start the season, ever. So I was like, that is fucking nuts. That's also not going to I said then, this will not sustain, and that's not how they're going to play. But even if they can play half that good, then that's enough to win most of your games, which will get you to the playoffs. And I don't think that's too unrealistic to think that it's going to drop off, but they'll play decent. And then they have, and then I put after about another week, was that they were on that crazy streak because eventually they're going to lose one, and probably badly. Then people will overreact. And that's exactly what happened. They've kind of been up and down since then. And then the game I went to, they beat the Indians 10-3, and then beat them yesterday 3-2. They did lose today, sadly. I don't know if you saw. I think it was 6-4.
Did they play the Indians again?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they won the series still 2-1, and then they play in Cleveland like a month from now, and then they always play for the Ohio Cup. Whoever wins the most games in those 2 series. Okay. So for Cleveland to win now, they have to sweep the next series. So I think, yeah. And I have a couple of stats here that are pretty bonkers. So the Reds are at a plus 38 run differential, 67-29 in Great American Ballpark, their home stadium, and it's the highest by any National League team since, or in the 7 games since the 1894 Cleveland Spiders.
I hear they're talking about going back to that name, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So super gross.
Yes, I agree. We're gonna get to that.
You love spiders.
I don't, which would be perfect because I hate Cleveland, so it'd be more reason to hate them.
It's fair.
And then I think that's all I had on that there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They Jonathan India, their rookie, is doing crazy good. He had 7 RBIs in his first 5 career games. That's most by any major league player since the 1920s. And
yeah, seems crazy.
Yeah, he's a first-round pick. And
where'd you play? What position?
Outfield. And he's fucking tearing up. He's a rookie, and he was drafted in 2018, which a lot of times players don't play for a long time after that. And that's looking real good. I'm excited about that. The Reds are 9-5. I checked, or 9-6 after that game today, which is still good for first place in the Central.
Isn't the Indians like 8-5, 8-6?
They are
7.
8-7. Yeah.
It's not bad for how bad they started.
Yeah, and that's the Reds have the second best record or the third best record in the entire league. So
I read a
I'll
stat
take
today
that.
that the Yankees have the second worst.
Yeah,
That's
they
fun.
and in the American League, I actually have that on here. They're the worst record in the American League, the first time since 1998, which is
I was 7.
crazy that they're that bad, but also nuts that you have to go that far back for them to.
Yeah,
I hate the
they've been
Yankees,
so
but
good,
yeah,
That's why. Yeah, I think that's why it's just a stunning stat that I read today.
yeah. So I think the Reds are not, when they're playing their worst, that's not how they're going to consistently be. And when they're playing their best, they're not going to consistently be like that. I think it's going to be somewhere in the middle, which I think will lead to a pretty good season, which is better than they've had
Yeah,
a lot of times in the last 10 years. So I'll
Yeah.
take it.
for sure. Sounds great. As a Reds fan.
Yeah. And then being at the game was, like I said, just so awesome being back in the stadium. And
Yeah. Was it full?
no, they're not. It was full as far as the tickets they're selling, but they're only allowing like 12,000, 15,000, something like that. And the stadium holds 45,000. So
Okay.
it doesn't feel like very many. Yeah. But it was a really fun time. And then, did you have anything you want to add about baseball?
No, just I've been monitoring the Mariners because, like I said in the first episode, I don't follow baseball. I'm like loosely an Indians fan because my wife's family they're from there and they love the Indians and it's like their thing. I usually go to a few Indians games a year just because I like baseball or I like going to baseball games. Baseball games might be my favorite thing to go to sports-wise.
Really?
That and hockey games are pretty sweet,
Oh, yeah.
but neither I follow very much. The one I hate the most is football, which is weird.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I know the Mariners. I think they're in first place in their
Yeah,
division.
they are.
Yeah. So no, I don't have a lot to add. Just 'cause I don't really watch it, but I know that I follow mostly Seattle sports. You would think I lived in Seattle with my Twitter. So it's nice to be involved in that community too. People getting really excited because the Mariners always suck ass too.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see them doing well as well. I don't think what they're doing is sustainable either, but it's fun to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Even though like loosely a part of it.
No, I hear you. Before we jump off baseball, we're talking about the names and the spiders. So the top candidates right now seem to be the Cleveland Spiders, the Buckeyes, the Blue Sox. There's one other that kept popping.
There was one I
can't find it
liked.
now.
I didn't like any of those.
I was gonna say, what do you think is the best out of that? Because I think those are horrendous.
There was one more that I heard. I was like, oh, that's not terrible. The ones out of that. Weren't the Reds called the Red Sox or the Red Leggings or something?
Yeah, the Red Legs.
Yeah, Blue Sox seems like a ripoff of Red Sox, White Sox, and blue
Mhm.
and Red Legs. So that feels stupid.
Yeah.
Spiders, I think, is trying to be cool when it's not. The only thing that's cool about that is it's what they used to be called. So I could see that one happening. I'm gonna be honest with you, I've kind of grown. Like, if they just call themselves a Cleveland baseball team, like,
Oh God, that'd be awful.
I like the Washington football team.
I think it's horrendous.
It's what they are.
I've always hated that. Even in soccer, a lot of teams do that.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. It's even worse in the MLS when they call themselves football club when they're literally in a league called the soccer.
Yeah.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I like the Cleveland baseball team more than the Cleveland Spiders. I fucking hate the Cleveland Buckeyes.
Yeah.
That just feels football to me. I don't know, and feels Columbus to me also. So I could be off base on those, but maybe it's because of Ohio State. But and then the red or the Blue Sox. I guess that one's fits the baseball theme. It's just, isn't there a team called the Blues or the Blue Jays?
The Blue Jays, yeah.
The Blue Jays, the White Sox, the Reds. It's just I don't know. It just feels like they're dipping their toe and these ones work. Cleveland Blue Sox.
No, I'm with you. I think they all suck. I think the Blue Sox, I think is boring and unoriginal and way too close to two teams that are very popular, and one of them is the most well-known team in baseball. The Buckeyes, I think, is lame. A lot of people are saying does not copy because they used to be called the Cleveland Buckeyes in 1942 to 50, but
But we know from that point forward what dominates the Buckeye scene.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Buckeyes are playing before that anyway. So
Definitely.
And
everyone knows what you just said, by the way.
Yeah.
I think the Buckeyes were playing. Everyone knows it's the college football team.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, that one doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. I feel like that had to be trademarked, but even if it's not, the Buckeyes have so much power in the state of Ohio that I think they could just be like, you're not doing that. Yeah. And then the Spiders, I personally hate it, obviously, so I'd be partly okay if they did that because I give them more reason to hate Cleveland. But the reason that I would not like it is I think they'll actually genuinely not do it, and it's not because I don't want them to. It's because it's very common for people to have arachnophobia and to have a fear of spiders. So I can't imagine they would go hard on that, where so many people with their own fan base would not want to be around, not want the logo, and then they're going to go over the top, not just have a logo, but that's going to be like the whole theme, just like anything is. Like the tribal aspect of the Indians, they're going to go all out with like webs and like graphic designs of spiders, and so I just can't imagine them actually doing that with so much of the population having an issue with that.
It affects 3.5 to 6.1% of the global population. So I could see them not caring much about that, actually.
I wonder how much...
That's diagnosed, probably.
Yeah.
Like, have you been to a doctor to say you have arachnophobia?
I haven't.
It's like you have it, but
yeah.
I bet this is 5% that actually have it. Like, did I look up the wrong thing? No, I didn't. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. I just can't see him doing that with so much of that on. But
I think that's one they're gonna pick.
You think so? I said I'd probably be okay with that because you know how much I hate spiders. Yeah. You know how much I hate Cleveland.
I don't know if they'll. I think they'll just ride the Indians till they can't.
Well, they announced this will be the last year of it. That's why I'm mocking call them Cleveland baseball team, and why I say it's so stupid, because they announced that they're not going to be named that anymore. But they're still calling that themselves until they switch over. Do you have any suggestions of better names? I have one, but I know they won't do it.
I don't know much about Cleveland. Like, what are like staples in Cleveland that would...
LeBron James.
The Cleveland Kings.
There you go.
Is that the one you have?
No.
Yeah, that name kind of sucks, but it's better than all the other ones.
Yeah, sadly.
It's kind of lame, but I don't know. Why don't they just do something that every other team's doing, like a night thing, or like all the new teams do something. What do they have with their water? Roller coasters?
Yeah, water. Uh-huh.
The Cleveland Cedar Points.
There you go.
Cleveland Cedars.
No,
Cleveland Kings. That's my suggestion. Baseball team.
Mine is not going to happen, because they're going to try and get as far away as they can from the whole Native American thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cleveland Redskins.
I think a fair... Well, my stance on the Indians, I don't think it's changed anyways, and I fucking hate the Indians, not the people, the team.
Yeah. I don't think the Redskins show up either,
but
that one probably more so than the Indians,
but I think the fair middle ground, if you want to call it that, because I think it's already ridiculous, but if you want to be a fair middle ground, would be a name that people already call them anyways, the Cleveland Tribe. I think that would be, but I think they're going to try and get as far away as they can, and a lot of people already call them the Tribe, which obviously would be terrible, Cleveland the Tribe, but Cleveland Tribe I think would be...
That's not bad.
And
a lot of people do call them that.
Yeah, I think that would be a fair middle ground, because there's also a large population of Native American people that say that they feel honored by it and actually like it. So you're also, by helping the situation out and not being offensive, you're going to offend a lot of people that are honored by it.
The world just sucks right now.
Uh-huh.
I feel like they did the right middle ground thing. We'll just get rid of Chief Wahoo. That seems like the most racist part. The red-faced fucking... that seems reasonable. And we'll just keep calling ourselves the Indians. That feels like a middle ground. It feels kind of lame. You have to do all of it, but I like the tribe.
I said at the time when they got rid of Chief Wahoo, I was like, it's only a matter of time until they get rid of the Indians. And everybody's like, oh, you're being dramatic.
I bought.
All right, we'll see.
I bought a shirt with Chief Wahoo on it, a hat, and then I bought a shirt with the Indians' name on it. just so you can have those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But how long will it be till those same people are wearing that or criticizing for people for wearing it? Like you show up to a Cleveland game wearing that, and it'll be, those people are wearing them just maybe potentially a year before, but if not 5 years before, whenever it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about that because unfortunately there's a lot of Indians fans at the Reds game I went to, and most of them had giant Indians all across them. These are going to be the same people that are trashing people for calling them the Indians are wearing Indian. I think so. Not all of them, obviously. There's going to be some people that are mad that it happened. There's going to be some that are like, I don't really care.
I think the majority of the fan base is pretty upset by it. But there's always people that are stupid, you know what I mean, and ignorant. And two-faced, I guess, that'll wear Indians gear and make fun of people for wearing Indians gear.
What if they just do the Cleveland Native Americans?
That's hitting the nail around the head.
That's what I think. That should be it.
The Cleveland Wahoo tribes
of Redskin culture.
That's a fucking name right there. Red Sox. Red Lakes. Blue Lakes. Blue Sox. Blue Sox. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, the potential one. Yeah.
They should just call themselves the Cleveland Red Lakes.
There you go.
Cincinnati would like that.
I mean, they already pretty much transferred their logo into the Reds logo, so.
Because they had to get rid of the stupid Indian. Not that Indians are stupid. Not that the logo is stupid. The situation's stupid.
Should we talk a little hockey?
We can. What other team has the Reds logo with a T in it or something? It's literally the Cincinnati Reds C, but there's like another letter in it.
I feel like, well, should I tell you? We're going to get into
I know we're going to get into
later.
it, but you know what I'm talking about though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the Red Sea. I don't know the team though, so it's not one of them to get.
Well,
is it a T? Is it a T threat?
Yeah.
So it's the
tribe. Not really.
That's not a bad name. It won't happen.
No, they're going to try and get far away as they can, which, like I said, is also kind of contradicting the point.
Motorcycle gang or something. Yeah, I'm in the Cleveland Spiders. We ride our Harleys from Cleveland to Columbus and back.
Yeah, I think at best it sounds like a minor league team.
Like definitely sounds like a minor league. Like you're making your own team in a baseball game.
Yeah.
And your options are Lake Erie Monsters or Cleveland Spiders.
It's the Blue Jackets minor league team.
I know. They're just awful names. And
they made it even worse. They changed it to Cleveland Monsters. Even my Cleveland hate aside, the Lake Erie Monsters sound so much cooler. Like the monster coming from Lake Erie.
None of it sounds cool.
I actually like that one a lot. For a minor league team, like I said, that seems fitting for a minor league team. Like, oh, this is so over the top.
Yeah, okay.
If that was our team, like an NHL team, that'd be a little embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I think for a minor league team, it's a cool name. No. Well, I can transfer us to hockey. We can talk about the clip I sent you.
Yeah, I watched that one also way before this podcast.
Of Tim Peel, a referee in the NHL for 25 years. He was caught on hot mic saying, what was it again?
I wanted to give Nashville a fucking penalty.
Yeah, because then the other ref said they didn't even do much, though.
Yeah.
And he said, I know they just need one.
Yeah.
And then Tim Peel was fired a week later.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't referee another game in between that, and then they fired him. So there's a lot of speculation and rumors about why he got fired and what he was saying with that. Do you have any?
I mean, probably because he's clearly trying to do something to the game it's not keeping the integrity of the game, right? That would have to be the reason he got fired, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of rumors. So here, I'll set up the scenarios I think are possible.
Do you not feel that scenario is possible?
Oh, no, it is.
Oh, okay.
So I think...
Yeah, it's literally the quote. Nothing is more important than ensuring the integrity of our game.
Oh, yeah. But there's some rumors. So here's one of them, is that sports are rigged, and people thought that for a long time.
Yeah.
And that he had money on the game, so he was trying to rig it. And that also...
Integrity of the game.
Yeah.
Integrity.
And then another scenario would be that I think this is probably the most likely one. It sounds really bad, and if you listen to the audio clip, it does sound like he's just straight up like trying to throw the game. Is that what he was saying is that... Are you playing it?
Great chance. Saros makes the save on the other side, but Nashville playing some tic-tac-toe, and Grice makes up big save. 12:42 to go in the second.
It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a penalty against Nashville early in the...
It cuts off. It cuts off early.
Yeah.
It wasn't much, but I wanted to give Nashville a fucking penalty earlier.
So the one I think is most likely is that no league would ever admit it, but we all know the makeup calls are a thing.
Definitely.
So I didn't watch the full game, but I don't know. They were playing the Detroit Red Wings. I don't know if they got multiple penalties before that. And he's like, shit.
We need to balance this out a little bit.
Yeah, but then the audio clip screws him over because if you hear that, that's not going to sound like what he's talking about. And then the other one I think is possible is something that, again, the league would never admit, and I think even a lot of sports fans don't. I think this is a very reasonable take, is that if you're refereeing in sports, you probably are really into sports. And if you're really into sports, you probably have a favorite team. So even if you're not trying to throw the game or you're not doing whatever, I think if I got in the league, I would try and call it fairly, but I think I would definitely, no matter how hard I try, if I was refereeing a Blue Jackets game, I'd probably try and give the other team a little more penalties.
Yeah, they have to cycle through that. There has to be a way during the interview process or the selection process to minimize that. Maybe not get rid of it. But
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm sure they try. I'm sure they never say it, but there's just no way to eliminate that. That's just human nature.
Yeah.
Unless you can literally
Unless you get no hockey fans to do.
That's what I was going to say. Unless you can find that, but that seems
I could
harder.
be great at reffing hockey. I'd be fucking perfect at it. I know all
Especially
the rules.
If you look at them, a lot of them know how to skate like an NHL player, so they probably grew up playing the game and following it.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing. So what do you think is most likely of those three, or do you think it's something else? Obviously not, because I said it's one of those. I just think those are the...
I mean, they clearly have the audio of the whole thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the league went through and listened to the full thing. So if they saw enough context throughout the whole game to be like, oh, he's clearly trying to throw it, and they said, we're just trying to keep the integrity of the game, then there's reason. Then he just was throwing. He just wanted to. They had enough evidence, I guess, to show he was throwing the game. So I'm assuming he just. I doubt he had money on it. Maybe the makeup calls. Would that get fired though? Like clearly it was enough when the league looked over. They're like, ugh.
I feel like it would, not just because they figured out it was a makeup call, but because the audio clip, if you are a conspiracy theorist or if you somebody do think that's rigged, I feel like your mind's going to go instantly there, even if it really is a makeup call.
But
So
the league would have the whole thing. So they wouldn't do it on a conspiracy. They would do it off the whole.
Well, no, I'm not saying they're like, I don't know, it might be a conspiracy. I'm saying for like perception, they might do it.
Oh, like what other people think?
Yeah.
Like we should get rid of you because of...
Yeah. The other weird part is this dude was, I think, a month away from retiring. So either that could throw something in there. Also, just suck somebody the ref for 25 years, unless he was doing this the whole time. But I'd imagine if he was, it probably been caught sooner.
I'm sure, yeah. It was just... I'm sure, yeah, we gave the Red Wings a fucking million penalties. I just wanted to throw Nashville one. I'm sure that would make the most sense. It sucks. Yeah, probably got taken out of context.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they made a deal, too. Like, oh, you're a month away from retirement. We know you were just trying to keep the competitive fairness, maybe. We're going to fire you. But maybe there's a compensation there.
Yeah. I feel you. And then talk about hockey for a second. The Blue Jackets have taken a dark turn, sadly.
Oh, no. You were so happy a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, even then I knew I was being cautiously optimistic.
They were trading everybody. We talked about this.
And they traded Riley Nash to the Maple Leafs for a 7th-round pick. Potentially could turn into a 6th-round pick if he plays in the playoffs for them.
Toronto.
Bingo.
I know that from
as I
our
hit the
last
mic. They also traded Nick Foligno to the Toronto Maple Leafs for a 1st and a 4th-round pick. And then David Savard to the Tampa Bay Lightning for I thought it said breaking news about the Broncos, but it says breaking down. That one always gets me.
Breaking news. We need an alarm for that.
There you go. And then David Savard to the Tampa Bay Lightning for a 1st round and a 3rd round pick. So when they did this, they weren't completely out of the playoffs, and I don't know if they mathematically are now, but they are out of it, even if they're not now.
Because they don't have the players.
Yeah, and they've been struggling a lot lately, and I'm sure part of that is the players. They haven't been doing well, but after they trade them, it's just been awful. So on one side, it sucks 'cause I was somebody that was cautiously optimistic and thought higher than other people did. And it really sucks because I like all these players personally, and they seem like really good guys. And so from that angle, it sucks, but objectively, I think they're all good trades.
Compensation is good.
Yeah. And I think all of them have a potential of re-signing, which would be the craziest part. I think Nick Foligno is the highest chance, and that's the person I care most about. He's been the captain for like 8 seasons now.
Yeah.
So that's a weird part. They don't even have a captain right now and what they're going to do with that. But also I've met him multiple times, and he's like the most down-to-earth guy I've ever met. And you hear nothing good things about him, not just playing hockey, but like does community work nonstop, and is like the prime example of what a captain should be on and off the ice.
Big Columbus guy.
Oh yeah. So that's another thing, that his whole family lives here, and he didn't move them, and he lives in Columbus still. Well, his family does. So all signs are pointing to that. And then he literally tweeted pretty much saying, I'll be back in a couple months without saying it. He said, I can't wait till the cannon fires again soon.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what the hell?
Are you even allowed to say that?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Where'd he go? Tampa Bay, you said?
He went to Toronto. Yeah.
Are they out of the playoffs?
No, they're I know they're in the playoff hunt, if not for sure in the playoffs. That's why they were trying to load up on players. And the cool thing about it, as much as I hate it, is that his dad played in Toronto, so that's probably really cool for him.
Is there not a deadline?
There is.
Deadline?
They did all that right before the deadline.
It's right before the playoffs?
There's still quite a bit of season left. There's 82 games.
Oh.
And there are 45 games into it.
Oh, okay. So when you say they're not mathematically out of it, like, oh, they could still make it, I thought that meant, like, yeah, there's like 4 games left and they win 3 of them.
No, it's just they've dug this in such a hole, and then their division's hard as shit, and then they traded a lot of top players,
Okay,
so this whole
realistically, there's no chance.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Let's see. I was looking at the wrong one. We're looking at Toronto. They
have a young core. The Blue Jackets, right?
Yeah.
Now they do, and then now they have a shitload of picks.
Yeah, so 3 first-round picks, which I know you mainly know football. That sounds absolutely incredible. It's not as good as football because it's more like MLB or something like that, where
the talent drop-off is crazy or something?
Just that they take so long to develop. Their draft is so young, and then a lot of times it's hard to actually tell. But the Blue Jackets in recent history seem to be really good at scouting. That was something that fucked them over for a long time in their early history. So,
is there coaching changes rumors?
Oh, yeah, there has been the whole season about John Tortorella firing him, which I think they probably will. I wouldn't have fired them, especially this season's been so weird, even without the trades, just because, like all sports right now, with not being able to condition, not having training camps, everything being up and down. And then, yeah, they are still one of the youngest teams in the league, even after, or even when they had these older players.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's hard to all put on a coaching staff, especially a coach that has the most wins in U.S. hockey history and took the Blue Jackets from being a bottom feeder to consistently being in the playoffs. I think I feel like it's kind of turning to the Buckeye thing where now the expectations are unrealistic and people know if we don't get to the playoffs and we don't go far, then it's a failure. Like, you're going to have seasons like that. If he does that again, and maybe do that. Especially their biggest struggle, even when they were good the past 5 years and made the playoffs every year, their special teams play, which is power play and penalty kill, has been fucking atrocious. And that's coached by Brad Larson, and they've kept him on as coach the whole time. And I think it would have been more than fair to fire him. So I think if you fire the head coach, and not him, yeah, I feel like that's just all you're doing is trying to send a message. You're not actually trying to better the team. Yeah. Just like, oh, we fired the guy that is the issue. But, yeah, I think they probably will do it, unfortunately.
What are the odds the GM changes before the coach does? Is it the same way with football, I'm assuming? There's like the hierarchy and the GM hires all the coaching staff and shit?
Yeah, it is. I think that would be more unlikely, and even though I like John Tortorella a lot and I think he's done a lot, I think that would be even more crazy because the GM has done a crazy job, especially in such a small market like Columbus. And
I didn't know.
Oh, no, you're good. That's why I'm trying to explain it because I know you don't follow it as much. Even like a lot of, I know hear Blue Jays fans complain about all the players leaving. He's done everything he could to try and keep players and to overpay them and do everything he can.
Okay.
And then even with all these trades where, like I said, personally it kind of sucks, he got crazy value, especially if you look at most of the other trade deadlines. People were getting fucking killed when they were the sellers. They were getting absolutely nothing for players they were giving up, and Blue Jays got multiple first-round picks and a lot of lower-round picks. And like I was saying, by the way, the Maple Leafs have 60 points, which is good for first place in their division. The crazy part is the Blue Jackets that lines up. So, yeah, the Maple Leafs are in first place in their division, so they're making the playoffs. But even though the first-round picks aren't as good as they would be in something like the NFL, having 3 first-round picks is obviously better than not having or having less. And also, you have so much room to work with. If you don't want to take the risk of drafting young players, you could package those together, get a higher pick or trade a known player. So it's a sad season, but I think they have, like you said, a good young core. And if they make the right moves, I think they could be right back at it, especially because they're a team that was in the playoffs for 4 or 5 straight years. So it's not like it used to be where there's like, oh, God, the entire thing's falling apart. Yeah.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to have that kind of season,
Yeah.
Just blow it up, restart.
Yeah.
Restart with a good core.
Yeah, I think that's what will happen. Obviously, I'm a Blue Jays fan, so I'm cautiously optimistic, but I think it's also realistic if you look at the roster and the moves they make.
Yeah.
I think that's all I had about hockey.
Yeah, I got nothing on hockey. I've seen none of it. So
The MLS started tonight, at least the Columbus Crew season.
Yeah, I knew that.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, look at you. The defending MLS Cup champions, Columbus Crew, are playing right now. Should we get a live score?
Live score update. They beat my Sounders. Didn't they?
They haven't played them yet, unless maybe it was like preseason game. Oh, for the championship. Yeah.
I say my Sounders, but I don't follow that either.
They had the most exciting game in soccer, 0-0 tie at the end.
Perfect. Those are my favorite games.
Oh, no, I love soccer, but I know soccer purists. Oh, that's a great game. I'm mocking it. There shouldn't be ties in general, especially 0-0. Even as 3-3, there shouldn't be a tie.
I read a tweet today from a football player. It said the shittiest thing about soccer is that there can be a tie.
Yeah.
No, like, how do you stay competitive in something you know is just going to end in a tie? That's sad.
Football can be a tie. No, like actual football can be a tie now.
But they try to find a winner. They gave them multiple tries to give them a winner.
Oh, no. Yeah, I think it's better. I'm not defending it. I think the rules they've changed the last couple of years, I think, have led to more ties, which is odd. But, that score is boring as shit, especially for a home opener. And this was the first game in the old stadium. This will be the last first game ever. Because July 3rd, they transfer over to the new stadium. But, I mean, it's better than having a loss, I guess, to start it. It's not like,
It looks better in the standings.
Yeah.
In the playoff thing.
So, that's all I wanted to add about that. I wasn't going to go too long about soccer there. Did you want to talk about some NFL news?
Oh, God. Off the top of do you have any off the top of your head?
I know.
Broncos do anything crazy?
No, they made some small moves since the last time we've done it, but nothing too crazy yet. I know we haven't talked about Sam Darnold on here.
W for the Panthers. I'm not kidding. I'm into it.
Do you remember what the
because I think Adam Gase. I'll look it up. I know what you're saying. I think Adam Gase is the issue because Tannehill sucked in Miami, and Gase was there. He went to the Titans, and he has Mahomes' numbers. I don't know if you've seen those numbers, but they're pretty goddamn similar. Now, granted, this game's a little different. They don't all rely on Tannehill. I think Kansas City all relies on my homeboy. And then I think Sam Darnold shows flashes of being good, but I think he's going to be way better in Carolina. Not great, but way better. Sam Darnold pick 6 is what came up. Sam Darnold, that's not what I want to look at. Yeah, trade. That's what I want to look up. For 3 picks, in return for Darnold, the Jets receive a 6th rounder in the 2021, a 2nd rounder, and a 4th in 2022. So they didn't actually give up 3 picks is kind of crazy, but he was a 3rd overall pick a few years ago.
Yeah, I think that's a fair trade for both teams. I do think he can definitely be better than he's played, but I don't know if his ceiling is ever going to be as high as those. I think at best he's probably a good quarterback.
Yeah.
So if you get him, like people were talking about the Broncos getting him, I was like, how is he any better right now than Drew Lock could be in the potential?
Yeah.
I mean, he could end up being
better.
very good, but so could Drew Lock. That's just a toss-up. So Drew Lock they already have. Sam Darnold, you had to give up to get him. So I think it makes no sense.
I unfortunately think Sam Darnold's better than Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah.
I think that's an upgrade for the Panthers. So.
Yeah, so I don't think it's bad for either team because I think the Jets got decent value. Yeah, it sounds bad on paper because they drafted him. What did he say? 6th overall, 3rd overall?
3rd. He was the 3rd overall pick, I think, in the 2018 draft.
Okay. So yeah, it sounds bad on paper, but you got to think about where he's at now. You can't judge it based on where he's drafted. So they got.
I think he's in his 4th year.
Okay.
So and I believe I heard his 5th year option is $15 million. So they have to decide this year if he's going to work out long term, or else he gave up all that for. Do you think they'd have to sign him this year to an extension?
Yeah, so that makes even more sense on the Jets end. But I know a lot of people are, like we talked about most of these trades, just react to Sam Darnold being terrible. I don't think that. I do think the Panthers got a good deal. I think it's one of those trades that works for both teams, and if he ends up being exceptional, it's going to be look bad for the Jets.
Yeah, but as long as they don't fuck up those picks, I guess.
Yeah.
And don't they have a high-ass pick this year?
Yeah, they have the 3rd, I think. Yeah, something high, maybe in the second.
No, the 3rd is the Niners now.
Oh, yeah, with the trade.
So they went down to 12th or something. No, it's Miami.
Yeah, I think they're a 2nd pick. Let me look here.
That sounds right. They were really bad. Yeah, because they just lost to Lawrence.
Yeah, they're a 2nd pick.
Okay. I mean, they're going to get the quarterback. It makes so much sense for the Jets to do what they did. They got a lot of picks. They get their quarterback of the future. Unless this quarterback class turns out like the recent quarterback classes, which could totally happen, I do think they're going to pick the wrong one. I think there's 2 clear winners in this draft, and then there's Trey Lance and Zach Wilson, but then I think Lawrence and Fields are above. Although I think Zach Wilson could be really good, but I think Fields and Lawrence are the best.
I feel like Trey Lance is having the explosion a lot of quarterbacks do right before the draft. You don't think he's going to live up to it?
Do you think I will, or do you think he will, or are you saying do I think he will?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could. I don't know anything about it. I mean, everyone's real high on Lawrence. I think he could be not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. And that's like Lawrence, I at least watched a lot, a good amount in college football. Trey Lance, I didn't see a single thing about till recently, but I watched a lot because people wouldn't shut up about him. And he does have really impressive highlights. Yeah. I think one of the things...
So did Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, and one of the things I noticed was the same thing I noticed about Drew Lock, and I said at the time that he's making crazy throws, but they were always to open receivers, so it's hard to tell how much. And then he has the crazy athleticism that Patrick Mahomes does, so everybody's comparing to him where he runs out and gets wild.
That only works for a few quarterbacks. That's like a very special thing. Yeah,
I think it's going to go one of 2 ways real hard, and that's why I think he's a big risk. I don't think there's going to be in between. I think he's going to may not go as Patrick Mahomes, but be around that level, or he's going to be like Paxton Lynch, where he has everything you need, but just doesn't do it.
Former Bronco and Seattle great.
That's right. Also, I'll admit, like I'm saying with Drew Lock, I don't know if that's all on Paxton Lynch. I think he could have potentially been good if he stuck with them. And not even saying, I know he had other opportunities, but as you've seen with Browns quarterbacks, can kill their career just by how you.
If you're in the wrong system, the Browns were such a fuck up for so long.
Yeah.
Any quarterback that went there, I think Manziel could have still done something, but.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Browns are bad at drafting, but there's just no way all those quarterbacks are going to be bust like if you put them on other teams. So you can definitely, how you handle a quarterback can ruin them too. And I think that could definitely been a scenario with Paxton Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's why I see with having limited knowledge of Trey Lance, I see it going, he is an all-star that breaks out, or he's just a complete bust.
Yeah. I think Lawrence is going to be good. I think Fields will be good. I think he has some stuff to learn still, but I think he's going to be good. I think Zach Wilson has a bunch of special ability that we talk about, and he can throw the ball. I think he'll be good. Like, I don't know if he's my favorite looking. I don't know why. I like watching him play. And then Trey Lance, I guess, the recent booming of him. I don't know. And then there's Mac Jones, which nobody talks about. So
Yeah.
he's such a. I was listening to a 49ers podcast. Actually, it was a Seahawks podcast talking about the Niners. So obviously biased, but talking about how the Niners would be so stupid to draft Mac Jones because they have Mac Jones on the roster. His name's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
They don't need another standard-ass white dude who's going to sit in the pocket and overthrow receivers. They need the freak athletic Justin Fields type guy who can make plays. And I think Shanahan's system is so perfect for a guy like Fields. Quick reads, play actions, use mobility. Oh, he could be so dangerous. But yeah, we've already talked about that. And you think Fields is going number 1.
I do.
So if Lawrence falls to the Jets, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. I think they would definitely take him.
Definitely.
And he seems perfect New York style for that. So
I've heard so much weird shit about Fields. I heard him going 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 20th.
yeah, the official
Patriots, the Steelers.
I was gonna say the official NFL website's mock draft has him at 24 to the Steelers. Like I said, I do think he's either gonna go to the Jaguars or the top 5, or I could see him falling way back like Lamar Jackson. I think it's gonna be.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be 3 to 5 or at the end of 1.
Yeah.
So he'd be crazy if he fell to the 2nd.
Yeah.
I think it'd be crazy if he fell to 5.
Which also would suck ass for him because the money payoff would be way worse there when you're like, all right.
And
I'm
he's
off the
done
top 5
everything he
pick.
can. He's done 2 pro days.
Yeah.
He's really. I think he's earned a lot more in my book.
Yeah.
Do I have any news? I do. A lot.
Yeah,
I
okay.
do.
Let's hear it.
Seahawks signed defensive end Aldon Smith.
I saw that.
Yeah. Former Niner, former fucking psychopath.
Yeah. I'll let you finish.
So, but he has been clean for over a year. He took a break and he had to deal with all of his mental issues and all of his, I think, drug issues or maybe alcohol. I don't remember. But he's been totally cool for like a year. He did really well in the Cowboys last year. And I'm down to give anybody a second chance, or 5th or 20th, especially if they're going to help my team. No, but I think that's why I would also be okay with Antonio Brown now at this point, because he seems like he's gone through his shit and was fine last year and would be fine. You know what I mean? I might be wrong on that. I might be wrong on Aldon Smith, but that motherfucker is talented, and he has pretty fresh legs. So I'm pretty stoked about that. You have an opinion?
I do. I didn't even know he played the Cowboys last year, so that makes a little more sense. Because I thought this was clickbait when I saw it. So this dude's been out for like 4 years, and he was fucking crazy.
He was that. That part you know. That part's real.
And wasn't there something aside from drugs and alcohol? Didn't he get into actual issues? Like,
No, there's like abuse issues
Yeah,
and
that's what I
domestic
thought.
stuff. Yeah, for sure. I think there's a robbery charge in there.
So,
But again, he had all of his years. He paid those debts. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I hope you're right. I hope I don't want somebody to fail. I don't know if those kind of people really change. Like Pac-Man Jones, even when he was on the Broncos, I told you I didn't change my view, even if he was good,
Yeah.
which I didn't think he was good on top of that, which made even less sense. I was like, this guy, I'm all for another chance, but he's had chance on top of chance on top of chance and has done.
Yeah, he hasn't. He had his Niners run, got fucking stupid, paid that price, and then he just now got back in. You know what I mean? With the Cowboys and did fine. So he's had a year of not being a fucking idiot, and apparently he's clean or whatever. So I'm always down. I'm always down to try, especially when he's this fucking good. So, and every team he's on, he sacks Russell Wilson like 40 times. So just sign up all the people that sack Wilson. So we got Aldon Smith. We re-signed our Seahawks president, Chuck Arnold. His 28th season and 4th as president in 2021. I don't know what that means. Oh. Wait, no, I don't understand. Seahawks president begins his 28th season and 4th as president. Oh, he's been with the team for 28 seasons. Jesus Christ. We signed Demarius Randall, who was on the team last year as a safety, I believe. He's from the Browns. He's not very good. But we signed him as a corner, which he has that free. And if there's a DB whisperer, it's Pete Carroll, right? He signed.
I'm always saying that.
Yeah, he's he signed so many people that weren't supposed to be good. You know what I mean? And have made them pretty damn good. So I'm cool with him switching to corner. We signed Al Woods. I don't remember if we talked about Jaron Reed. We talked about that, right?
Sounds familiar. As far
I think
as
we talked about last time.
Here. Yeah.
We cut him. And we signed almost an entire defensive line with his salary.
Oh, yeah?
So we got Al Woods. We re-signed Tyler Lockett, which I thought, man, you should talk about this because it's similar to the Galladay contract. I was wondering your thoughts on this one. I don't know if you know it, but I'll tell it to you.
No.
He is an all-pro punt returner for us, by the way. He is our number one receiver, even with Metcalf there. He had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He's fifth in NFL receivers over the last 3 years, 28 touchdown catches, 12th in receptions, and 13th in receiving yards. He set a franchise record last year with 100 receptions, 10 touchdowns, and 1,000 yards. He holds some more records. But he just turned – he's 28. So he signed – also, what's important is Russell Wilson and him have, like, the connection. You know, like the Montana Rice type of – you know what I'm saying? Like, they just – so for some reason, it just works.
Or the Plummer Rice.
Yes.
I don't know if that's who was quarterback at the time, but that training camp when Rice was there.
Hasselback Rice. I don't think that was it either. But in 2018, Wilson had 158.3 passer rating when targeting Tyler Lockett the entire year. That's perfect. So he's just his guy. Where's this fucking contract at? I keep just trying to delay it. He's also a fucking perfect person. He's super awesome. I cannot find this fucking contract. It's big. It's not crazy big, though. It lowered his cap number a lot.
Okay.
Where is it? God damn it.
Holy shit. I guessed it right. It was Jake Plummer and Jerry Rice going at it in training camp.
Really?
Yep.
I don't know who he played with on Seattle. Lockett extension. I'm so sorry I don't have this on the top of my head. Is this March 31st? Okay. 4-year, $69.2 million extension. I know. $37 million guaranteed. Lockett was entering the final season of a 3-year, $31 million. $17 million in new money, ranks 10th among NFL receivers. He's 28, a third-round pick. This is his third contract with us. He's made Pro Bowls as a receiver and a punt returner. All pros punt returner. And like I said, those stats he's listed the last few years. Oh, and it lowered his cap hit from $15 million to $7 million. Now that'll go up, obviously, but locks him in for what I say, 5 years? 4 years.
Locks him in.
Oh, and he gets his last year of the contract too, so it's 5 years. So at 10th, the 10th biggest contract. Does that feel crazy?
That is crazy, and obviously you always want less money, but I think it would be reasonable to get less guaranteed money would be the only thing I would say.
Okay.
Because you said similar to Galladay, but the difference is, that was my issue with Galladay, not necessarily the money, is that I don't think he's bad, but he's like a middle-of-the-road receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Lockett, I think, is maybe not the best, but definitely higher tier receiver.
He's probably in the 10
Yeah,
area.
so-
Like I think there's not a lot of receivers I'd take over him.
Yeah. So
Maybe 9.
no, I don't think it's completely terrible. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's good. I just, like I said,
Guaranteed money.
yeah.
I think you have to do that this year.
Yeah.
With all the shit. So I'm fucking ecstatic about that. That means we're going to be paying receivers a lot of money in a couple of years when we have to pay Metcalf, because you don't let Metcalf go. You don't draft a guy like that and let him go. We got Carlos Dunlap back.
I saw that.
This defensive line is going to be good. Really good. Al Woods, we got back. They're all old, which scares me a little bit. Aldon Smith, Carlos Dunlap, Benson Mayo, Rasheem Green, Terrell Taylor, the rookie. A lot of fucking people. Too much. Did you hear the Browns? I'm so ADD. Did you hear the Browns got Clowney, by the way?
I did. That
1
was
year, $10 million for a
Yeah.
guy who did not play. Maybe played a snap last year, but was hurt all last year and wasn't good the year before that.
And what am I missing? I've heard that and like 2 other moves that Browns have made, but Browns fans will not shut up about how the amazing
They're
offseason
dominating
they've
this
had.
year.
Yeah, I was like, what else have you done? Dude, they just done really good in the offseason. I've heard every Browns fan say that. But what have you done?
Maybe we can look at it here in a second.
Okay.
But I don't know. I can't off the top of my head. I don't know.
And I feel like even though I couldn't list every other team's free agents,
They
I
did
feel like
They did a safety. I think they got a big
okay.
safety. Maybe a corner. We'll look it up. And a big thing with Carlos Dunlap. He had a little conversation with Russell Wilson. Hey, are you going to be the fucking quarterback of this team? Because I'm coming back to do unfinished business. We shouldn't have gotten knocked out of the playoffs when we did. I need to know you're going to be the quarterback. For sure. So I'm done with it. Did you hear the Brandon Marshall thing?
No.
We'll play that clip too. I'll get that locked up, actually.
Locked
Because
up.
this was a big deal that last time we talked about how this is all getting blown out of proportion, and I fucking hate it, and everyone is overreacting. So Brandon Marshall was the guy that kind of started this whole thing before before Russell Wilson even went on the fucking Dan Patrick show.
I was going to say, you know who I fucking hate?
Is it Brandon Marshall?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Seahawks legend. He was on the team for like a half a year.
He's obviously talented. He did really good at the Bronx. Just how much of a douchebag he was. That's why I hate him.
Oh, no. Whatever, I can't find the clip. Basically, he's saying like, "Oh, I'm here to." A lot of people in this profession will, what's he call it? A term for guessing. We're giving our guess. Is this still recording?
Yes, just not making sure.
We're giving our guess. He said, "I'm here to report on fact. Russell Wilson will be a Seahawk for years to come. He's talked to Pete Carroll. The relationship is better than ever. They have the philosophy talk, and it's all good. They're on the same page now, and this whole saga's over." And while I think Brandon Marshall talks out of his ass, he was the first person to note that there was something going on, and everything is quieted down. So I'm going to take it with a grain of salt for sure, but that's at least something, and then we can end this fucking conversation. Let's see. Okay, so Dunlap, we re-signed Chris Carson, which I love.
We talked about that last episode, didn't we? Or was that?
I don't know.
Maybe it was in person.
I don't
I've been on
remember.
here.
But I love the fact that we did that. And all of these people we're signing for are these crazy low cap hits. And we still have like $8 million, which I think we could restructure some shit still too. Let's see. We released Jaron Reed. Benson Mayo re-signed. Jordan Simmons, the guards, backup. Cedric Ogway, we talked about him last time. Kerry Hyder. God, I forgot about him. I'm excited about him. Niners sack leader last year. Gerald Everett. Okay, that's everything. Seahawks are doing it this offseason. Gabe Jackson. Dude. We are like, and this draft has like, I don't want to fuck this up, 19 receivers in the top 100, big board, and then 17 corners. Those are the 2 things we need. We have 3 picks. So I think we get some crazy center or something. And then a big center. I think we're going to do a bunch of trades, but I think we get a center, receiver, and a corner out of this draft. And I think this team is drastically better than it was last year. And we're not done making moves either. But this offseason started off so bad, and it has gotten so good. And I'm just very excited for the season.
Okay.
They were 12-4 on a bad year, and they've gotten better.
I feel you.
They're gonna be up there for sure. That's all the news for Seahawks. Browns.
Yeah, if you want to tell us what the Browns did. The Broncos, like I said, haven't done much, so we're going to talk about it. I guess I could talk about a couple of things while you're looking that up. They signed Sherman Sheldon from the Vikings, which makes sense if you're getting all these Vikings players, because that's where why am I blanking on his fucking name? The new GM. George, what is it? Oh, I should trust my gut. George Payton, the new GM of the Broncos. was the GM of the Vikings, so it makes sense. He's a defensive lineman. His stats weren't great, but they signed a small contract. He seemed good. Defensive line, something they could use. And they signed Deontay Spencer. He was going to say he's really good at kick and punt return, but he was young and had some struggles. But when he could break loose, he was crazy and nobody could stop him. And he signed him for the NFL minimum. So
Nice.
I think that's a good move.
So many crazy good contracts.
And he plays receiver as well. He's not a top receiver, but I think being able to do that on top of that is only a bonus.
Yeah.
And then George Payton said his approach with the Vikings drafts were always get as many picks as you can, and I hope he follows through with that to the Broncos, because I told you the 9th pick is exciting, but if I was them, unless they know what they're getting, get somebody to give you way too many picks to move up a couple of spots and still get a amazing pick afterwards.
Yeah.
So I hope he follows through with that to the Broncos, because I think that's the right approach in the draft, unless you have like a know for sure who you're taking.
Yeah.
But that was all on that. Like I said, there's not much going on with them.
Nice. Okay. So the Browns, they got rid of Sheldon Richardson, who everyone was freaking out about him being so good.
Yeah, I saw
When
that.
he sucked for the Seahawks, he was good for the Jets?
Think
Is that
so.
or the Giants?
Yeah.
Or the Jets?
It's the Jets.
They got Sheldon Day, Jadeveon Clowney, which again, every Browns fan I know talks so much shit about Clowney, and now they're all ecstatic.
I mean, and they're just Cody mocked me because the jokes are too easy, but they're doing it themselves. They're what I call the Cleveland Clowns, and they signed Clowney. I was like, come on.
He's probably gonna be incredible or something. Oh, they got Karis McKinley, I think, from the Falcons. This is where he used to play, I think. They re-signed Malcolm Smith, Super Bowl 48 MVP. You know him. He's been average. John Johnson from the Rams, which I actually appreciate them taking him. He's a safety. He's very good. They paid him a lot. They re-signed Rashard Higgins. They got Troy Hill, the corner. Malik Jackson, tackle. Adrian Claiborne, I guess.
Malik Jackson's a former Bronco, but
That's
he was okay. So, yeah, it sounds like not as great as they're portraying
they've
it.
got a couple big names, like John Johnson and Troy Hill's cool. And Jadeveon Clowney, I guess, is now the second coming of Myles Garrett. Can you imagine Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney on the same thing? I was like, no, but I can imagine Jadeveon Clowney on the opposite side of a better defensive end named J.J. Watt, and he was still okay there. Like, he's going to be okay. And he's going to get hurt. And if he doesn't, he'll probably have a decent season because, yeah, Myles Garrett's incredible, but they made their defensive line a little worse. I don't know. Fuck the Browns.
I was going to say, I think next week we talked about, we alluded to in our first episode, our true hate for the Browns and why we feel the way we do personally.
Mine's new.
Yeah, mine's
I felt
deep-rooted.
so bad for the Browns.
I remember, yeah.
I have a Browns friend, and I root for him, and I'll root for the Browns for him in certain situations, but I just don't like them. I don't like the Browns. It's mainly the fans. They've gotten so fucking annoying. And they're so flip-floppy. Baker Mayfield sucks. We have to find the next quarterback. Did you know that Baker Mayfield on throws 30 yards downfield is first in the NFL? Yeah, he threw 5 of them.
I've had many of these talks, I know.
Well, our coach, I don't know if this coach is really going to do it. This is the greatest coach we've ever had in history. Oh, this GM is the greatest to ever do it. Is he? That's news. Last year he sucked.
Should we get into it now? I was
No,
okay.
I'm just giving you a little preview.
Just a sneak
What's the
peek.
coach's name? Stefanski. I do
Yeah.
like Stefanski, actually. I thought that was a really good hire. But yeah, dude, Clowney. Oh God, I can't believe Seattle would try to sign him for so much. Oh, thank God he turned down the $57 million contract last year from the Browns. Oh, we got him. Baker's our guy. It's fucking annoying. Yeah, fuck the Browns. Fuck their fans. I'm sure a lot of people say that about Seattle and the Broncos, so whatever. But yeah, that's all I got for news.
Anything else you want to talk to before we get to our game show? Or talk about, I should say.
Nope, I think that's good.
All right, this week we're doing like we did last time. Instead of NHL logos, we're doing MLB logos. If Derek gets it right, he gets 2 points. If he gets it wrong, I get a point. And Do you think we should do no searching or anything this time?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I just want to make sure you're cool with it.
Oh,
Let us know how many you guys get. If you're listening to this in audio format, I'm going to switch over to YouTube. Ready for your first?
Oh, God. How many teams are there?
30.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, Brewers, Milwaukee. No.
I'm going to wait for final answer or...
Milwaukee Brewers. Final answer.
Correct.
Okay.
Just so I don't...
I knew that because there was a guy, when I streamed, he was a big Brewers fan, and that was his logo on his Twitter.
It's fucked up.
The Atlanta Braves. Final answer.
Correct. See, you said you only know any of these.
The White Sox. Chicago. That's the Cubs. There's two. Chicago White Sox. Is there two? There allowed to be two? Can I just say White Sox? Chicago White Sox, final answer.
Yeah,
There's two teams?
there is.
Does that happen often?
In the same
There's a couple
city,
in
you
New York,
mean?
right?
Yeah, that's not often. New York, yeah. I don't know if there's
Alright,
really any.
alright. That's the Indians. Cleveland baseball team. Final answer.
Wrong, Cleveland Indians.
Ah, shit. Actually, might do better at this than I thought. Ooh, and we're out. Is this an alternate?
Nope,
Oh,
this
fuck.
is Maine.
T. I don't know.
So pass. So,
I don't know. Yeah, pass.
Texas Rangers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. NY Rangers hockey.
Yep. Bingo. Same colors too.
San Francisco Barry Bonds. Giants. Final answer.
Jerry Giants. Yeah, that's it.
The Colorado Rockies.
You
I
motherfucker.
knew
You're
that
like,
one.
I'll do worse than hockey. I don't believe you.
I'm going to start. The Washington. Oh, no. Do they have the same name? The Capitals? Final answer.
No, Nationals.
Fuck. I knew it was
Similar.
close.
Yeah.
Detroit Tigers. Final answer.
Damn it. Yes.
Houston Astros.
Yes,
Yes,
I didn't wait
dude.
for final answer. Wrong.
If I say it confidently, St. Louis Cardinals. All right, I'm better at this one.
Yeah, I knew
Kansas
you
City
would be.
Royals.
You fucker.
I already said the Atlanta Braves. Anaheim. There's no fucking Canadian teams, is there? I don't know.
So pass?
Yeah.
Anaheim's in California, actually. Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So it still is kind of a trick question because they added Los Angeles, which is a fucking horrendous name.
Phillies. Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers, the hockey team. The Phillies. The Philly Phillies. Final answer.
Yeah, Philadelphia Phillies.
The Philly Phillies. The LA Dodgers. Final answer. Oh, the Florida Marlins. Final answer.
Miami Marlins.
Miami. Do I get that one or no?
I would say no, but
Really?
and you're dominating. So
Okay. It's not Florida? This is the fucking logo. That's the Cincinnati Reds thing. I don't know. Fast.
that's the oh my god. No, I'm fucking. That's the Minnesota Twins.
If you don't know,
No, I did. I was just fucking it up.
New York Mets. Why is that the fucking Twins?
That's why I was mixed up. But the Twin City is what it.
Oh, fuck off. So stupid. Diamondbacks. Arizona. Final answer.
Oh Jesus,
I am
this can be more of a layup.
New York Yankees. Tampa Bay Rays. Final answer. I almost went Buccaneers and then Lightning. Orioles? Boston? Orioles. Final answer.
The Baltimore Orioles.
Baltimore? Yeah, fuck. Pirates. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Pirates. The Reds. Cincinnati. That's the Boston team. What are they called? Is it Boston? Yeah, definitely. It's a shitty ass B. Boston. I don't know. Boston Lager.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Man, I thought that would be a layup for you. The Red Sox.
Oh, is it? No.
Yeah.
Let's see. Santiago.
Santiago.
I don't know the name though. Obviously it's San Diego. Or South Dakota or something. But definitely going to San Diego. Pass.
San Diego Padres.
Padres, okay. The Oakland A's.
Yeah. The Oakland Athletics, the full name, which is fucking horrendous.
The Cubs, Chicago. I like
That
the
was
Cubs
great.
for a little bit because of the Mariners sale. Because of the movie Rookie of the Year. Ooh, Maple Leafs is a hockey team. The Blue Jays is the team of who we speak of in... It's Canada. No, it's not. Can't have Canada. Blue Jays, I don't know.
Toronto.
It
Blue
is
Jays,
Canada.
yep.
Fuck my ass.
And that's all of them. So I think we're going to have to at least do 1 point because you dominate even with 1 point.
Cool, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's not 21 out of 30. Okay, I did pretty good.
Next time, I know you're not going to know many of these, but this was terrible. Should we do the MLS?
Oh, I'm going to fuck you. Yeah, for sure. I'll do horrible on that one.
Okay.
You'll catch up at that point.
I think some of their logos I'm probably going to have to literally white out spots of it because so many of them say their names
Yeah.
and they won't have secondary.
The New York Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Well, I just said it. Yeah, I'm going to do fucking terrible. I know like 4 teams. The Crew, the Red Bulls, the Sounders, which I forgot the first episode, and I like that team.
You know, I hate them, but I will say they used to have some of the coolest uniforms where I jumped off Xbox.
Yeah.
Also, I felt like that was just a match made in heaven, not because I like Xbox, but
Yeah.
Seattle, and
Seattle,
it's one of the
Xbox.
biggest companies there, Microsoft. And they switched to fucking Zizzle or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know. The jerseys still look cool, but not as cool.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say this episode?
No, this was fun.
It
It's
was.
a good one.
We're going to try and actually do it every week now, every Thursday. And
It's
then,
been my fault.
oh, no, you're good. There hasn't been a lot to talk about. I mean, this is like, 3 weeks, and we only did like an hour
Not a
and a
lot
half.
of
So,
news, yeah.
yeah. But that should change with these seasons that we discussed today getting going. And we're only a couple weeks from the draft. Next week will be just a week away from the draft. So our
Which
next
we'll
episode.
be at.
Yeah, that's right. We'll be there for day 2.
Maybe we'll take some
rounds 2 and
vlogs.
3. Yeah, there you
Put 'em
go.
on the backliners.
And then, what do you think? Should we do a watch party for the round 1 or just watch ourselves?
We could. I would be down.
Maybe we'll live stream that like
could.
we've done with E3 or the press conferences for gaming.
I'd be into that.
Now, I wasn't even thinking. We got our beautiful display back here if you're watching on video.
Oh, yeah. Looks
Let
so
us-
good.
Yeah, let us know if it looks better. This isn't finalized. We just retired the green screen of the actual green.
And he thought it'd be funny since I'm wearing all black.
But until next week.
Until next week.
Oh, yep. We got
Quack, 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 quack.
Go
Go Hawks.
Broncos.